Boom, and I'm on YouTube. Just like that. It's the magical power of OBS. And I got lights shining on either side of my face from this here, which is a reflection of this light here. I can hold them in my hands. Oh, it's the inverse. That's it, clutching orbs. Clutching orbs of light. Yeah, I've had about a beer and a half on an empty stomach. So we'll see how this goes. I'm already looking at it, and if I gotta be honest, she looks a little bit like a man. Like, the more I keep working on this, the more I'm like, this is a great cross-dresser outfit. I need to fine-tune some things. Like, the nails could use color. That's one thing. I got this weird little webbing section over here. Yeah, you can see a little floating cursor. And then just like the jaw shape. Like, I softened up the brow a little bit. I'm wondering if I don't need to do that more. Maybe give it more of a slope. And then the jaw down here, this curve, I'm feeling like that needs to be straightened out a little bit. Make it a little less mannish. Maybe even do like a little bent here and then a bent there. So I'm going to touch up some things. Try and make her look a little more feminine. I'm not even loving like the space I have between the bottom of the nose and the top of the lip. I feel like that's a little bit more than it should be. Maybe I want to draw that ridge of the nose down a little bit. Give it more of a point. Take that nostril flare in a little bit. So yeah. With my altered state, I'm going to make some adjustments. And that's an awful lot for me to say to YouTube, because nobody watches me on YouTube. Why? Why do I even stream to this? Twitch. Twitch is where all my people live. What am I looking at now? Oh! Y'all don't need to see that. That's job pursuit stuff. I've been a little off today. I've been in a weird state. I had a fantastic interview today for a job. Went great. Went really, really great. Disconnected. Reconnected. I'm back, baby. So that was cool. And I was really happy with that. I was smiling as they were describing the job. Like, it seemed like something I could really do in a printing capacity, like working with digital art like I'm doing here, doing some marketing, designing logo stuff, setting, and then printing, and then like physical aspects too, where I'm moving stuff around. So like that all sounds really good. I've applied for something like that in the past, and like just in the past year, I'm trying to get into the print industry, and so it was a great interview. It was a fantastic interview. And then I looked up how much that position actually makes across the country. And it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. Like, I'll be lucky if I can squeeze out like $20, maybe $22 an hour is what I'm thinking about asking for. It's usually what this position gets paid on the high end. And since I don't have prior experience, that's pretty likely. Are pretty unlikely. So, see how this goes. Boom. Okay, so let's see, that set me up on Twitch, and then we hit start all. Bam. And now, I am broadcasting. And I'm going to take care of that light situation that I got going on right now and adjust that light situation right there. Alrighty then. So another sip that I don't need. I should probably eat some bread. Look at my phone. I don't need that. And yeah, let's decrease OBS. We're on Twitch. Let's see. Is it gonna wow me with myself? Maybe not. I don't know. I'll be back. Getting up, moving my feet. Let's do a little adjustment here. Let's go home, stream manager, and blammo. There's my goofy ass. My dark living room. Hi, cat. This shit. All right, folks. Let's get back to it. Like I said, well, if you saw me on YouTube, you would have heard this. I feel like she's looking a little mannish. Like, where's the mouse? Here, Control-Shift-A, deselect. Well, that's dumb. I didn't even know that was a thing on that. This is the monitor I want to be on. Her whole head. I feel like the forehead is a little bit big. Maybe this brow back here can be adjusted down. The hairline is a little too far back. The jaw feels a little too thick. Like, I don't know, maybe take it down to there. Well, that did nothing. I wonder how much I can really mess with Krita at this point. You know, I'm learning it, I'm figuring stuff out, and like I said, I'm a little buzzed. So I'm in the mood to experiment. Trying to fix some lines. Like, can I make her prettier? Can I go all like LA plastic surgeon on this lovely lady? I was gonna say biatch, but no. And make some just fine-tune adjustments here. Now in Photoshop, there's a tool called Blur or Warp or something like that, where I could select an area and like nudge things around a little bit in order to change the shape. I'm not sure where that exists in Krita, so I'm gonna do something just crude. I'm gonna take the shape tool for cutting, and we're on line art. Good. I'm gonna take this chin, this jaw line right here. No, already I don't like that. Bring that around. I said, I've been drinking, folks, so my manual dexterity is a little bit off. I'm in a weird place right now. If you've been watching me, you know I've been dealing with family crap. I had a family member like steal from me earlier this year, kind of threw my life, you know, into the wood chipper a little bit. Been dealing with a lot of angst, a lot of anger from that. See, already I feel better about this. Like, yeah, that could definitely, that works for me. That definitely works for me. So I'm going to hit enter, boom, and lock that line change in place. Control-Shift-A. And since I already made a pretty major graphical change to what I'm working on, I am going to hit File, Save As, Drawing, Cover Art, add an underscore 001. So now this becomes an iteration of what I've been working on and not the same file that I've been working on. We're going to hit save. Boom. And then, bam, up at the top, you see it changed from drawing cover art to drawing cover art underscore 001. So I'm no longer working on the same thing, and everything that I've done prior, that's saved off. So if I make these changes and then come back, sober, and realize I fucked up, what was my drunk ass doing, I can go right back to what I already had going and not lose. So let's play. Let's play. Because playing is where the human animal does the most effective learning. Play. So let's play with this. I should definitely eat something. Alright. Since I adjusted that, I want to go ahead and, what am I in right now? Pen mode? Now I'm in pen mode. I got that selected. I don't have a wand. Nothing's highlighted. So I can make sure that I am using the, let's see, go to Moo Ink. If you haven't seen the Moo brush download for Krita, you should check it out. I found it years ago, loved it, and I've been using it since, and over the past 2 whole days have been using it quite a bit, and it's fabulous. Alright, so we're going to connect that. That feels weak. That feels really weak. Let's bump that up. Maybe 8 pixels. A little better. Not sure what I originally inked in. That's part of the problem, is I'm on purple. Switch back to the default, so now I'm on black. Boom. Boom. The neck feels longer, the jaw feels shorter, she feels more like the character I'm describing in the book already, just with that little touch. And next, I gotta work on this brow line. And I think I'm gonna do that by taking the hair that I did during my last streaming session and try to transform the whole thing so it comes down and creates a softer slope onto the brow. I'm sorry, softer slope onto the brow. It's using my finger. I know y'all can't see that. Another thing I gotta do is, while I'm still on line art, let's go ahead and switch this over to eraser mode. And it puts me back in. That is so damn cool. Alright. So, eraser mode is now, I'm loving the way Krita is working with the tablet now that I'm really playing with it more. I've been very hesitant over the years, but this is good. And honestly, I used to love doing artwork while I was drinking. It used to be one of my favorite things to do, is just sit back, recline, have the tube going, and have a beer while I was drawing all day. Some of my best work has come out of that. Well, okay, some of the most interesting work has come out of that. Maybe not my best. So yeah, let's play. Let's have fun. Like I said, weird mood today. Very weird. I had a job interview over the phone, and it was the best interview I've had all year. When I was working at the telemarketer place, there were 2 jobs that I applied to that I really wanted. One was an actual job at a place that's like walking distance from me. I could be there in 10 minutes in the day doing screen printing, which, not the most glamorous job. You're basically just like operating a machine that prints off t-shirts all day. But that seems fun to me. That seems like a fun job. Like, there's physical aspects to it, there's technical aspects to it, and you own your space in that job. It's something I did when I was in high school as a screen printing class, digital class, only time I did digital art in high school, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic, and there was a part of my brain that was like, I could do this. I could do this for a career for the rest of my life and be happy. I went into game design and animation instead, which, not great. It has not been great. Can't say I'm really a fan of how that's turned out. So right now I'm going to play around with trying to do additive layers and see how that works. So I'm hitting the shift button, which is what I do in order to do a plus. Okay. So what that did is selected everything in between these things. It didn't let me select just what I wanted to. So I'm going to try control instead. That did it. Okay, that did it. Alright. So I'm carrying over skills that I've used over a long period of time. And now let's see if I can hit transform. Okay, let me select the transform tool and selected all of those layers. That's not really what I want, because if I hit this and, like, let's say I pull down on this, and it's going to be really slow. But you see how every layer is transforming with it. And it gives her that weird forehead and does all that stuff. Let's hit Control Z and undo everything that I just did. Blam. Or I should say blam, because it took a while to happen. How do I go about doing this? Because what I want to do is take this area down, but not like the whole thing. I think going manual is the way to go. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to hit enter. Boom. That's going to set in the change that I made, even though I didn't make any changes. I am going to go to that layer, see an enemy hair. And then I think what I want to do is select a brush. I want to figure out whatever brush I used when I was doing this layer. Oh, I'm on lighten. Okay, so that mode is lighten. This is normal, and this layer is normal. So I got two normal layers, one dark, one lighter, and then one that's a lighten effect over the top of them. And that's what I'm creating, like, the cool effect. How do I go about adjusting this? Because I got three layers. I mean, I suppose I could try merging them into one layer and call that layer done. And then go in and add another layer on top of it that I can use for, like, added detail and definition and stuff like that. That's one way of going about it. Layers are fun. Layers are fun. They can be tricky, but they are fun. You know, while I'm at it, and thinking about that, I'm going to adjust this hand issue that I got here. So let's go to line art. So yeah, the job interview was awesome, and the fact that they actually brought up they need someone who's familiar with OBS, which is the tool that I use for streaming to you folks right now, it caught me off guard. Like, I use it so glibly. I use it on such a regular basis. I didn't even realize, like, what he was talking about at first. And then, I had to, like, actually go into AI and ask what OBS is and have it explain to me what OBS was, just for me to go, oh, yeah, it's that thing I use every single day. So, yeah, I don't know. I got a sneaking suspicion they might be watching my streams. Like, that's... like, they're familiar with the fact that I do this. And now I'm looking at Garrett and I'm wondering, why is your eyebrow up without any kind of a wrinkle in your forehead? Shouldn't there be a wrinkle in your forehead if you're doing, like, that? Like, she's got a little wrinkle in her forehead that I feel is maybe too much. But I didn't give him any. Like, why are you looking so passive and feminine there, my dude? I'm still on good old black and white. I'm still on the line art layer. I've got the pocket full of sunshine. No, let's go back to the brushes. Pen mode, eraser mode, pen mode, eraser mode. From eraser mode, let's do the thing that I said that I was going to do in the first place. Now let's erase this line. Why is this so... okay. Alright, bring that back and then go down all the way. Oh, I know why. I know why it's kind of being a bitch. Let's go back to draw, which is where my eraser is. I was using the soft eraser. I'm going to be using the hard eraser. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that back on ink so I'm not confused later on. And then take my eraser tool and decrease the size. Oh, too small. That's too small. Up it up just a little bit. Here we go. Here we go. Just gently smooth out that little finger line that I no longer need. Let's get rid of that. Let's go down to my fill layer, as I like to call it, my Uncle Fill layer. Hit the color tab up there, hit the eyedropper, select his hair, which gives me the coffee brown, which I could have just picked from here, but I didn't. Yeah, because I'm down here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in too. So using the proper brush, I'm going to use the pen mode and just fill that in real quick. Now, the wife gave me her critique of this entire thing, and her review on it is her arms are too dark. This needs to fade to purple with the ear fin, otherwise it looks like it's a costume accessory, and the tail is too light. Which, I mean, she read the book. I described the tail as being like somewhere between ivory white and blue. And what I'm going for is a tiger shark. I'm going for an adult tiger shark. And so the reason that it doesn't have stripes is the tiger shark only has stripes as a juvenile, and then it tends to fade more as it gets older. Let's go to line art. So I see this little rough spot right here. We're just going to smooth that out. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Ba-ba-da-ba. Okay. Yeah, and again, this hairline's bugging me. And then also there's the ear and the fact that I haven't colored in her nails at all. Let's go back down to my Uncle Fill layer. Sorry to be real quick about this. Grab the selection tool and bam. I wanted to grab the inner ear, but it wouldn't let me. Alright, fuck it. I'm gonna do this shit old school. Go to foreground color. Let's go ahead and select his skin tone. Since I got his skin tone, I can go up one, which apparently is Persian orange or choco. Chestnut. Choco? Do I want choco? Or do I want Persian orange? Persian orange feels a little racist, so let's go with that. Uncle Bill. Oh, no, let's keep that up because that's an eraser mode still. Pen mode. And just rough that color in. Which I don't know if this is the color I'm actually going to want to stick with for the inner ear, because I'm looking at it right now as I'm putting it in. I'm like, this is going to be awfully nice for gradient shadow. That's what that is. Nice little gradient color to go in. But I got to figure out how I'm going to properly do gradients for this. Like what brush, what tool. I tried using a brush tool earlier to play around with the ear. Like I said, the wife wants me to make that change. And I didn't like it. The brush I was using was too firm, and I tried to use the soft eraser. That's why I was on that feature, in order to try and like soften it up a little bit. I didn't like that either. So, play. I need play. And beer. And maybe some food. So as I was saying, let's go back to the black and the whites. Let's go back to the line art layer. Garrett needs something, some wrinkle in the forehead. Some little, oh, that's slightly better. Not great, but slightly better. It's too much. Like, that works. Does that work? That works. Maybe that doesn't work. it feels more real. I mean, as someone who's got like lines setting into their own forehead, that feels a little bit more natural. But I imagine Garrett is like 30. That's I never say it in the book, but that's about how old I feel that he is. Arista, who the fuck knows? She's some magical creature from the deep. She could be hundreds of years old. She could be like the ultimate cougar. We don't know. And not knowing is half the fun. But yeah, there's her hairline. Like, his hairline is softer and more natural than hers. Hers is kind of like, blam! Premature balding. Do I want to add a layer? Maybe I want to add a layer. I was thinking about adding layers. Let's see about adding a layer. Let's go to that. Grab that. Hit that. Hit that. That'll do, pig. Blam? Okay, what's going on here exactly? Line art is above that, so this line is appearing. Alright, now originally when I started doing the hairline, I wanted to get rid of the black line that I had here, sculpting in the hairline, and then I wound up kind of putting that back in. So, oh yeah, because I got that anemone hair layer above it. Let's take this new paint layer and let's put this above anemone hair. Let's do the same effect I did for it. Right click, layer style. Select stroke. Change the color to cyan. Dim blue. Cyan. Dim blue. Cyan. Dim blue. Fuck it. Cyan. Because it's a layer effect, so I can change it later if I want to. I'm going to take the opacity, crank that up to 100. Take the size of the stroke layer, drop that down to 3 pixels. Let's say 3 pixels. Position outside. Oh, I can do inside. Let's stick it to the outside. But I could do center. No. Oh, that could be fun. That could be fun. But no, blend mode, multiply. Let's go color. Maybe you want color, and then I want something that's going to be a little bit more depthy, I think. So what am I trying to do here? Her hair is fucking wild. Let's be honest with that, folks. Her hair is crazy. What I want is depth. So if I start out light and then go bam, I can thicken it up. Yeah, that's what I want. I want something that's going to actually require some manual dexterity here. That's what I'm going for. I'm going to bring that up. And then, do I want to draw a new hairline for her? Is that what I want to do? See, but then it tapers off at the end. And what I liked about the line that I was doing before, like it didn't have this point. It ended blunt. I like that. I like it to end blunt, but I still want it to be able to fatten up, you know? I'm going to try that brush. Let's see what that... Oh. It's more like the opposite of what I want. So I want to be able to start thick and then have it end thin. Oh, so that looks cool, but it's going to be tricky to pull off. It looks very cool, but it's going to be very tricky to pull off. Yeah, see, way too far. Yep. then it gets that weird effect on the forehead, and I don't want that either. And it started off tapered. We'll get it. We'll figure it out. So this is cool because it's basically, there we go. All right, I think I got it. I'm starting to figure it out. It's an exercise in pressure, which is good, real good. Anytime you can, damn it, I tapered off again because that's what's natural, like flare. But anytime you can like practice a different pen technique or find an excuse to practice one, that's good. That's an opportunity for growth. Let's see, we're still on normal. Start thick and strong, bring it up through here, and bat. And because I went slow, it's got more jagged marks to it. That's not great. So we want to start solid, increase depth, lighten it, and then let it go. Damn, that did it. Like, that did it. There's a little bit of waver. We're definitely playing with the layers that are going on here. I was able to make use of that space that I've got going in our ear fin. Okay, I might be onto something here, but this layer is going to be a bitch. It's going to be a bitch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's working. It's definitely working. See, and I like that, except I'll ditch that, and for a few strands, not all the strands, but for a few strands. Damn. Just getting on my own nerves with this. Let's get rid of the lines and select the magic wand tool. Go bam. And then Control-Shift-I. So we inverted the entire selection. So now everything but that ear is selected. So if I go, nope, I don't even have to change layers. I can stay on the layer that I got, move back to the brush that I was using, and tapered that one. Okay. And realize where I fucked up, because the whole point here is that I'm supposed to be pushing in on where the hairline is, so she damn it. I think that feels more feminine. I want to get rid of this space. Go down to paint layer 9, add another layer, add that defining line. Is that better? Is that better? That feels a little bit better, but then there's still like just too much forehead. It's like the whole thing needs to come down, I think. Like, I describe her as having a round face, and I did very square on this image. So let's soften this feature a little bit. What was that groan, Lou? What was that? Like that? So yeah, the interview that I had today actually said like they need someone who's used to like teaching and doing OBS and stuff like that, which just has me thinking like they've seen me. They've seen me doing this. Is this what I need? No. Boom. Okay, and then I extended all that too far. Which I've been praying that I can stop looking for a job because the right job is going to find me. And it kind of feels like that's what's starting to happen this morning with that particular interview. Like I said, the pay is my only real hesitation at this point, but a job is a job. Like something, anything. It's a 20-minute drive from where I'm at, and that kind of sucks. I worry about my animals, in particular my dog, because she's so sensitive. But if the wife is going to actually move back in and give us a chance again, then that wouldn't be so bad. She doesn't want me to need her. She wants me to choose her, which I totally understand. But after building a life together, like it's I do need her. Like I don't have any desire to be with anyone else at this point. New. Nope. You gotta see through it though, right? So on this layer, let's see. It is working depth-wise. It does feel better. I don't know about this hairline though. Still need to push that forward more, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I had a little hiccup. That's fine without that. Softens it up, rounds up the face a little bit. I need shadow. I definitely need to throw in some shadow. Deselect everything. Okay. Let's get rid of my vector images. Boom. Boom, boom. Get rid of the lettering. You know, the wife says the tail should be darker. Let's go down to the new Uncle Phil layer. Select the bucket tool. Bam. Go to my color selection. Kick that up to a frost blue. And she says the hands should be lighter. Now, I like making them dark. I'm basing this off of like stuff from my nightmares as a child. Let's grab that magic wand tool though, select that. Hit shift, that makes it additive, so I can select that and that. Boom. All those sections are combined. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the lasso tool and go ahead and select that area that's been blacked out. And for color, let's check this again. We hit the eyedropper, boom, that tells us that we are at Cal Poly Pomona. So what if I make that one shade lighter to forest green? Oh, my bad. Bucket, 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 bucket tool. Bam! So everything becomes one shade lighter. And then the ears, that's our other issue, is that they are too pink. So it makes them look like they're fake, like costume pieces that are added on. Select them. Shift select that. Shift select that. Shift select that. Select that. Actually, what if we... Oh, no. unselect everything and just select that. I think I want is to select Alt, no, brush tool, Alt, that same shade of blue. That's ink. Let's see, what do I have for paint? With this brush, see how this looks. That is so strange the way that works. Wow, that is a strange brush. Okay. What I wanted to do, wow. That's weird the way it pushes the colors around on it. And that's like to backtrack, but I can't. I want something more solid than what I'm getting. It's interesting, definitely something to play with in the future, but for right now, no. Yeah, especially because I'm still on my fill layer. Okay. What I'm trying to do is take these blue stripes that I have and incorporate them in. This tool and bam. Bam? Yeah. No. Zoom in. Damn it. And I did this on the same layer. Fuck. I didn't mean to do that. I mean to do another layer on top of it that I can mess around with and do multiply and smudging and all that stuff. Which is weird that I'm spending this much time on the ear fins because this was not a detail that I included in the book. Alright. Oh, yeah, okay. And then back to the wand tool. Select that. Select that. Is that what I want? I'm just trying to keep this playful. Nah, I don't like any of that. Okay. Set that at the multiply. See what that does. Nothing? Really? Nothing? What if I went color? Nope. Color dodge? No. Darken? No. Erase? Hell no. Ugh. Luminothica. Oh, that gives us a purple. That's definitely a purple. Ties in a little more with the blue. I want a good brush for it too. That's the trick I'm having. That's the issue. No, that's not quite it. Nope. I feel like I want to soften that up. Okay. Erasers. Okay, so I got a soft eraser. Smudge eraser, let's see. Keep dropping the size down on that. Let's drop the opacity down on that so it's not too hard. Wish I knew where the smudge tool was. Like, that feels good, but I need a smudge. Well, that is way too large. way too large, enough to make a girl say ouch. Let's see. Airbrush that in a little bit. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Soften touch there. Bring that out. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Can you feel the love tonight? That is working. That is working. That's working. Okay. Zoom in on this and hit the magic wand tool. Bam. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Control Z, that gives me back that. Hit Shift. I was hitting Control instead. Expand that section. Control Shift A. It's not bad. It's not bad. Between using the soft eraser, playing around with paintbrushes, and using the airbrush tool, I feel like I'm starting to figure out how to do proper gradients with the Krita tool, and that's working. That's working for me. I think that is a strong indication of what I can do with the rest of this in order to bring out values and softness and depth and gradient shadows and all that fun stuff. Not a bad hour spent. Not a bad hour spent. I am gonna snap a picture of this real quick. Because basically this is everything the wife told me I need to do as far as changes on the image. So I'm going to take, bam, little picture poo of that, send it off to her. Still in Paint Layer 13. Let's see. Let's rename this one. Call it Gradient Shadow. Let's call it Gradient Shadow. Oh, fuck you, Caps Lock, making me sound all angry as I type stuff. Gradient Shadow Layer. Bam. Forehead still comes up a little bit high. The neck feels better. The jawline feels better. Some of the fill-ins feel better. I want to try changing her webbing. As long as I'm here, as long as I'm on it. The webbing in between her hands, I did that the same light blue that I did the tail, and I changed the tail to a slightly darker blue from an ice blue to a frost blue. So let's go ahead and grab the Magic Wand tool. Go back to the Uncle Phil layer. Clickety, clickety, clickety. Zoom in. Clickety, cloud. Clickety. Clickety, 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 clickaton. And then let's try a green. I want to try green instead. Like, let's see, what do we got? We use this, and we're at forest green for the color. What if I went jungle green? Yeah, welcome to the jungle. And grab the paint tool and blammo. Feels better, a little more Swamp Thing, a little more menacing. Okay, Control Shift A, feels better. The hair feels better from when I started in this session. The jawline feels better. The fin feels like it's got some depth, and I have a better understanding as to how I'm going to add gradient to the rest of the image. It's been an hour, almost an hour. Let's go do her nails. I'm thinking I'm ready to call it quits. I realize I got more details I could use, like black. Do we want black? I don't think we want black. Do. Bam. Control Shift A. I want to remember this brush. I want to try this one for now. Gray 10%, black 0%. Sure. Let's go black. This is a pressure sensitive brush, so I want to be very careful not to go outside the lines, which is ridiculous because this is making the lines disappear. So I can't go too far in the line either. At the same time, it's letting me get angles, and that's nice. All right. I got a hair layer that's over that. Eraser mode. Nope. There it is. Boom, back down to gradient shadow layer. Oh, is that what I'm on? And I'm painting it in with that? That's not good. That's not right. It's not what I wanted, but it'll work. It'll totally work. I should be on the Uncle Phil layer right now. This is fine. Let me extend that a little bit. It was right. Oh, that does help. Okay. So that officially takes me over an hour on this stream just for Twitch. Be a little bit longer on YouTube. And I'm going to take a little break. It is 7:21 where I'm at. I should eat. I should eat food. I should walk my dog. I'm going to walk my dog, then eat food, figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. And then I don't know if I'm going to be back on again later tonight. Perchance. Draw, hard eraser. What's going on right here? What am I looking at? Did that just not fill in properly? Maybe it just didn't fill in properly. Eyedropper, bam. Switch to pen mode. Aha! Aha! Let me color that in. Alright. Yeah, I like how that gradient is shaping up. I'm going to keep playing with that, keep using the magic wand tool to select the areas that I cleaned up, and then try to add proper gradient shadow to it. Keep playing with it. Just play. Play is fun, and play is learning. Play is the most effective state for learning that mammals have. So, that being said, I am going to call this one a quits. Take a little break. I've done some venting. I've done some art. All of that feels good. Need to walk the dog. Need to put food in my belly before I consume any more alcohol. So, peace out. Hopefully things keep going tomorrow. I really need to pick up speed. I need to try and concentrate on this. Get this done. And get it up and loaded onto Kindle Direct Publishing on Friday. So on Friday, people, this will be available for purchase. And then I can start making tens of dollars off of it. So, peace out. I'll be back mañana. Perhaps tonight. Doubtful though. I'm probably going to stuff my face, drink more beer, and fall asleep in front of the TV set. So, I'll be back. Alright, later. Goodbye Twitch, goodbye Kick. Be nice. Or kind. Be kind. Be kind. Kind is better than nice. Alright, I'm out. And then YouTube. The big boss. The big streaming thing. Yeah, I'll be back on YouTube. Not that anybody cares.